Hello Internet! Shalthis here, and it's time for another episode of ShoutStone. I'm bringing you another Shoutcast here from the Hearthstone beta, this time featuring again my friend Viper, who I got a lot of games from, so hope you enjoy this one. And let's just get into it right now. It is
Anduin versus Jaina.
Anduin versus Jaina. Mage, Priest. Should be fun. It always is. Viper playing the Priest deck. DuncanIdaho playing the Mage deck. Alright, so Shield Bearer, probably going to be the card he's going to drop here first. It's always a good one-drop. Gets you a little bit of early protection against most ability or most minions or things like that. But Jaina doesn't have anything in her hand to start to play with, so we'll have to see how Viper chooses to respond as we go forward. So we're hitting the 2-drop point. Viper, of course, went first, so Jaina will be sitting on that coin, and she's going to drop it now. Looks like we're going to get a 3-drop off the bat. Yep, Arcane Intellect. Interesting choice, just to kind of fill the hand up with cards, I guess, just to get things going. So right now, some pretty good options. Good spell power minions. That Spellweaver will be pretty handy, coming in the 4-drop, just in case, depending on what Jaina puts into play. Because just like the Iron Begowl, it is a great, fairly inexpensive silence minion. Alright, so Jaina going to probably finish off that spell power minion. Oh no, sorry, a little early for that. So she's going to put a little damage on it, prevent any kind of attack coming in. But we'll have to see how Viper chooses to respond here. Looks like he's just going to heal up that minion and effectively nullify the effects of that Frostbolt for the most part. It's an interesting choice to play the Frostbolt on a move that, you know, generally would not kill off that minion. I'm not really sure what the thought process behind that was. I guess trying to get a sizable amount of damage heading into the 4-drop point, but not sure if it's worth it. But anyway, Water Elemental coming into play. Great 3/6 Mage minion. And of course its freezing effect is very handy. So you generally want to dispatch that with like a spell or do a minion trade just to get rid of it. Quick little minion heal to get Divine Spirit. And looks like just going to bypass that Water Elemental for now. It can do some sizable damage across the board. It has a nice amount of health to prevent anything inbound as well. But we'll see what it wants to do. That Ancient Mage reminds me a great deal of Arcturus Mengs from StarCraft. And yeah, a little oops there because did not attack with that Water Elemental. I mean, fortunately, even if he did choose to attack, it would have been focused on the Shield Bearer, and it would have frozen the Shield Bearer, which doesn't really matter because the Shield Bearer has no damage. But right now it looks like Viper's taking advantage of the card battery effect from that Northshire Cleric. And doing a little bit of minion dispatch. Light Spawn coming into play. Great minion for a Priest deck to take advantage of things like Divine Spirit and Power Word Shield and all those fancy, great health buffing abilities and minions and things like that. So it is detrimental that, you know, its damage is directly proportional to its health. So as it tries to like take out minions and stuff, it gets weaker. So it's good to always buff it up to basically make it a really big bomb-type minion as you go in later in the game. And Viper is sitting on a Divine Spirit right now. He does not have a Power Word Shield, which would be really, really cool. But he does have... he has that minion that can buff it up to another 3 health if he puts that into play on the 6-drop, which he could do on the next turn. But I don't know if he'll want to... He might want to save that so we can play both that minion and Divine Spirit at the same time and really crank up its health, if that's an option. Still not able to do that. But he is able to finally clear the Shield Bearer. So we'll have to see kind of what options he's going to have here. He does have that +1 spell power, which could increase the damage of some of his other abilities, but he's going to drop the Booty Bay Bodyguard instead. Drop Divine Spirit and go for a quick strike. So here we go, some big damage now inbound for this Mage player. Not the position you want to be in, but, you know, health is irrelevant. As long as it's not 0, you're still in the game. I've said that so many times by now, it's starting to lose all worth. But the point still stands. I mean, I say it a lot because I don't believe that, you know, everybody who watches these videos, that this is the, you know, 3rd or 4th video of mine that they've seen. This may be the first video of mine you've seen. So I try to reinforce that fact. So another elemental comes into play and freezes that light spawn. And could choose to take out... Yep, gonna trade the Ancient Mage for that Booty Bay Bodyguard to clear the taunt minions and take out the card battery of the Northshire Cleric. So right now Jaina has a pretty good minion force out there. But she is still going to have to deal with that 8/8 light spawn as we get further into the game. She's got a lot of options, so she could have other minion control spells in there, like Polymorph, which will shut things down right away. Silence, which would be very effective. But it all really comes down to what options Jaina has. Now Viper's still sitting on that 0-cost Silence, which could help put that Berserker in its place. Or it could be used to kind of take out that Water Elemental without worrying about the freezing effect. Unfortunately, 2 minions are frozen at this point, so he's just going to bypass it, go straight to the hero. Can still heal something up, but he's going to play his Acolyte of Pain instead and pass the turn. So, things are actually looking pretty good for Viper right now. It is going to play Mirror Image, which is a beautiful card to annoy and irritate your opponent. And Flame Strike to deal massive amounts of devastation and effectively neuter that light spawn. Now it's down to a 3/3 minion, and it will be dispatched. So now some damage finally going to be dealt to Anduin, who's frozen, but it really doesn't matter because Anduin himself will not be attacking at all, so kind of irrelevant. So Viper's now sitting on that Inner Fire, and he doesn't have that Light Well. Now the Light Well is a 2-cost 0/5 minion. Between that and several other things, he could do some sizable damage. And a quick Holy Nova to clear the field, or almost clear the field, basically. And he is going to silence that Water Elemental with the Spellbreaker. So we're back to kind of even settings here. Then again, our Mage player is still in kind of a bad way. Frostbolt to take that out. And he could deal another 3 points of damage, which he will, but the Frost effect is gone thanks to that Silence. And if he doesn't have any other options in his deck... oh, he's going to play a Secret, so probably... I always assume when a Secret hits the field that it's going to be a mirror entity. And it is. So, well, let's save that. So it is a mirror entity, so a Lightwell on both sides here. But Viper just got a Power Word Shield alongside that Inner Fire. So those two in conjunction played on that Lightwell could make it a pretty strong, cheap minion. Oh, and he is going to buff it to 3 health, so between that, that's up to 8. Now he can buff it up to 3. He might... is he going to play it now, or is he going to save it? He might want to save it for the turn that he can actually attack, just in case it gets focus fired. Alright, but he's going to buff it up to 11. He's going to hold off on the Inner Fire for now, I think. At least it looks like he is. Oh, but he's going to silence the other Lightwell. Very nice. To kind of negate the benefit the Mage player thought she had. And a well played. Absolutely. So Viper is sitting on that Inner Fire. Probably will drop it next turn. And he has to deal 1 more point of damage to really make this count. Oh, and he's going to use Fireball to take care of that minion. So Oh, Viper doesn't have any abilities in his hand, so I guess it really comes down to what's in his draw on the next turn. Oh, but there's Ascension Shieldmaster. I'm sorry. Why did I say that? Ascension Shieldmaster. That's better. Ascension Shieldmaster hits the field. A few more points of damage being whittled off of Anduin. And a quick heal to kind of replenish most of that Thought Steal. So this could be interesting. Let's see. He's going to get a Polymorph. Oh man, and that will take care of the taunt minion. But he doesn't really have any options. Alright, he takes the mage player down to 1. It's looking really good for Viper at this point. Is back up over 20 HP. Instead of thanking a little bit of taunting, but you know, you gotta be careful. 1 health is enough to win. So let's see how... Alright, Spellbreaker comes in, silence the Lightwell, and that devastating minion is now gone. It is basically a useless 0/5 vase. That's what a Lightwell becomes when you silence it. Another Water Elemental hits the field. And we'll have to see how Viper can respond here. He's got 1 point of damage left to deal, but the minions are starting to really flood out for the mage player. If the mage player can keep these minions coming, there's not going to be much options left for Viper. So he does have Gelbin Mechatork that he stole from the mage player's deck, and he does also have that Gadgetzan Auctioneer. But a lot of it really comes down to what that invention is, too, if he decides to play Gelbin Mechatork. Because that invention can be a pain. And it is going to be a Repair Bot. That is a huge pain. That is not what Viper wanted. I can tell you that right now. That is not what Viper wanted to have to deal with, is a minion that is going to be healing his opponent and everything else out on that field. But yeah, that buffs the mage player back up to 4 HP. Not where he wanted her to be. So we're looking at a... Mechatork can be taken out, and it really has to be, I mean, at this point. Basically, an effective taunt minion or something has to be put into play to take Mechatork out, because the mage player is still, you know, reeling right now. Gurubashi Berserker to hit the field. Looks like going to deliberately focus fire on it. Will to buff it up to 5. And a Frost Nova. And now some damage being focused on the hero. This is what I mean. 1 point of health can turn the tide of this game. Now all those minions are useless. And Viper has to respond. There's not much left here. I mean, he can heal himself, which is going to be helpful. He's going to play that Auctioneer. Should have played the Auctioneer first, however. He's going to get Mind Games, Ascension Shieldmaster, Divine Spirit, all of these buffs coming out for the heal that he just played. But there's another pop from that stupid Repair Bot, which has now put the mage back up to 7. And Lord of the Arena. But we are still looking at some sizable damage incoming for... Oh, and another point. That's it. That is really it. I think this is GG. And yeah, Viper is going to concede before the damage can be done. Oh man. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I say it every time. 1 point is all it takes. You don't have that last point of damage, and you can still lose, because that's the only point of health that matters is the one between 0 and 1. That's why cards that take your health, or minions that do damage to you, or plays that put you in danger, aren't really that bad if it's early in the game. Your health is a resource. I mean, I'm going to talk all about that. I have some future videos planned to kind of really talk about strategy and things like that. But keep that thing in mind. Health is just another resource for you. So remember that. But that is going to do it for this episode of ShoutStone. I will, of course, be back every single day with more Hearthstone Shoutcasts, which is what I do here. And more of other videos. Arena time every week. I'll be doing more of the cooldown, which is going to be games that are not Hearthstone. every now and then. I won't do them a ton. At most once a week, but maybe not even that often. So don't worry, this channel will still be predominantly Hearthstone, I promise you. And if there's really a lot of uproar about it, then I'll stop doing those cooldown videos. But for now, people seem to enjoy them. I know I got at least one person hooked on Cookie Clicker. So, but yeah, that is going to do it. So thanks a lot. Be sure to subscribe if you want to be notified when more of our videos go live. Also, you can like and comment on this video if you enjoyed it. Watch all of our other videos. And like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you all next time.